Hey Diego, so here is your video. You have to pay attention, okay? And obviously you can always just go back and redo it or just take your time, okay? At your own pace. I need to show you something though. I think I was clicking on the English 2. That's why I even said that probably it was an persuasive essay. But if it's English 1, it's going to be an expository essay. So I've gone through the release test for 2018. And I know this is for, look, you see this one's for English 2. You can see it right here. English 2, and this is the the persuasive. I'm going to close this out. This is the one that's a release test for 2018, and it is an expository. You can see right here that they're asking you to write an essay explaining why new technology is so important to teenagers. And then I also saw the release test for 2017. And then this one, look, write an essay explaining one way that people can work together to make a difference, okay? And so, that's what I need for you guys, for you to actually focus on. I'm gonna try to help you do an example for the first one that I showed you from last year. The one of, write an essay explaining why new technology is so important to teenagers, okay? And so on this one, what is the first thing that you can think about? And it's gonna be probably your cell phone, right? Or a computer. And so the strategy that I'm gonna show you looks like this. It is called a foursquare. So this foursquare, you can do it. Let me go back to this where we have the expository, the prompt. And so, you know how right here you have a blank page and then you have another blank page? You can use that to write a foursquare. So let me show you. This is the thing. Let me look. So this is a page, right? Right here. You can do it like this, or you can do it like that. It doesn't really matter how you do it. It's up to you how you want to go ahead and do it. The thing is that you have to divide the page into 4. Like this. Like this, or like that. It's your preference. We're going to go ahead and do it just whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Like this. Number 1, well, it's going to be the introduction. So I'm just going to go ahead and put intro. Number 2, square number 2 is going to be reason number 1, because you have to have 2 reasons for your essay. And square number 3 is going to be reason number 2. And then guess what you're going to be doing for square number 4? The conclusion. Okay? So it looks like this. Like that. Okay? Now, let me go back to the slide that I was showing you. And so over here, you're able to see how the first paragraph is introduction. Second, it can go, again, it doesn't really matter as long as you have the 4 squares. Reason number 1 in the second paragraph. Reason 2 for third paragraph. And then the last paragraph is your conclusion. So if we have 4 squares, how many paragraphs are we going to be having? How many? 4. Okay? The first one, introduction. The body is composed of 2 paragraphs together. And then the other one's going to be your conclusion. So now, what goes into each one? Okay, that is the question. So, for your introduction, you have to have a controlling idea, okay? And this, what is a controlling idea, is basically you have to tell them what you're going to be writing about. So, for example, on this one, if my essay is write an essay explaining why new technology is so important to teenagers, I'm going to go ahead and probably say technology is important to teenagers because, and then I give my 2 reasons of why. Maybe because it allows them to see the world from a new perspective, and something else. So you always want to have 2 reasons. So that's the first thing that I'm putting, even like right here. Okay? So technology is important to teenagers because. So you always want to have 2 reasons. Look, right there. The key thing is that in the controlling idea, you have to mention the 2 reasons. And you have to be able to connect them with the word and. Okay? Right here. Let's see if we can see it. Ah, my finger. Right there. And. So, now that you have the 4 square, right? So this reason, the one that I just wrote down, this one, this is the one that it's going to go in reason number 1. Right here. And your second reason, the one that you would write right here, will be going into 3rd square, which is reason number 2. The thing is that you have to introduce the reason in every single paragraph. So, for example, on the reason number 1, you would say, you can like go back to teenagers need a phone to be able to see the world from a new perspective. That's just like 1 sentence. Look, that's 1 sentence. That's your introduction. Like, that's your sentence starter. That's what it's called. So I'm even gonna go ahead and put sentence starter right there. Okay, sentence starter. I go the other way. Then after that, that's where you put in your example. So for example, you can say, I remember that when I was in history class or in whatever class, you're trying to make some kind of connection, right? So you're trying to say, like, I remember when I was in history class, and so in order for us to do research, all the teenagers that were in my classroom, we needed to use our phones to be able to research newspapers and Google any kind of article that was going to help us, and at the same time was going to help us with our perspective, either like to challenge our perspective or even to like confirm whatever we already knew. Like, it's just an example, but the thing is that they want to see you connecting it to like your own personal life. You have to be able to, like, your voice has to transmit through it. I don't know if that makes like sense. They have to understand that you know what you're talking about, basically. So on reason number 2, well, over here, if you had another reason, of technology being important, let's just say that now teenagers, what can they do with technology? They can use computers, right? So it can be on reason number 3. Well, technology is important to teenagers because through a computer, they can navigate and do their homework easier, or they have information at the tip of their hands. When before, as like, for example, myself, I didn't have a phone when I was growing up, like when I was your age. So where did I needed to go? I needed to go to the library. I wasn't just able to, let me go ahead and grab my phone. It has internet. And let me go ahead and just Google something up. No, I had to go to the library. And so now with a computer, teenagers have a lot of information right there to be able to do a lot of things. Like, for example, right now with a video, right? You can always talk about how, like, also like connecting it, how your teacher from your middle school was able to do a video to explain to you how to create an essay and gave you like a little tutoring session, and it was helpful. You know what I mean? Like, so you need to be able to connect it. And so let's just say that you are done like with reason. And again, you don't have to fill everything out. It's just like a draft. It's kind of like, okay, this is so I don't go off track and I don't end up like I started talking about, I started talking about technology and I ended up talking about how getting a job is very important. Like, no, you have to stick to topic. And then for your conclusion, you are basically like mirroring your controlling idea. So whatever you said here on your controlling idea, you're basically going to try to say it over here just in different words. The thing is that it's really, really important for you to also end with a call for action. At the very end, call for action. At the very, very end, right here in the conclusion. I always go to the other way. And a call for action is basically like you are giving an advice to someone, as in what to do. Or you're telling them, like, for example, have you ever, like, when you were a teenager, did you ever have a computer or a cell phone available to help you? And if you didn't, then if you were a teenager now, would you want to have a cell phone at the tip of your hands? Like something, some kind of advice. You're telling them to do something. Okay, like, or go out there and promote technology, because technology for teens is very important and many parents do not understand the importance of technology for the education of teenagers. Does that make sense? Okay. So, 4 square. Again, I always go the other way. 4 square. 1. Introduction. With a controlling idea, you have to tell them the 2 reasons of what you're going to be talking about. Reason 1, you are having to kind of state your reason number 1 over here and then giving an example, connecting it to your own life. Reason 2, the reason that you wrote on the introduction over here. And then again, you're having to do another example. It can also be of movies. It can be of anything that you're able to connect to. And then the conclusion, you are mirroring. And I'm also going to go ahead and put like mirror. Because you want to mirror, it's like a reflection of your controlling idea. So you're just changing up like the words. Mirror the intro. Okay, you're mirroring the intro, and then the call for action, you're giving them advice. So advice, as in what to do. Okay. All right. next video.